first of all, welcome in. And I've been anticipating this day for a long, long time. And as I was saying before, I give credit to Liz Francis for being so persistent to make this happen.
Yeah, she was on me for sure.
Yeah. So, tell me a little bit about yourself. I had the opportunity to chat with you behind the scenes and talk to me about, where you grew up, how you started, and where you're at in a nutshell.
Yeah. So currently live in Hershey, Pennsylvania. My wife and daughter and I moved out here just over 2 years ago, and originally from Cincinnati, Ohio, born and raised in Cincinnati, spent 50 years of my life there. And, some opportunities came up and we thought, we were ready for something new. We're a pretty adventurous family. And we landed on Hershey and we love it here. I'm a fan of Hershey's chocolate. Love roller coasters. I'm a coaster enthusiast. So Hershey Park, of course, is awesome.
Yeah.
But it's a great time. We really, really enjoy it here.
Yeah, no, I've been to Hershey Park ages ago when my kid was, I think, under 5. Welcome in, 1980 something. And I love it. Yeah, the chocolate, the rides and everything.
Yeah, a lot of people remember coming here as a kid, and I was here one time as a kid. I was pretty young, so I don't remember a lot about it, but I do remember, of course, just the rides and everything and all the chocolate. Yeah.
All the chocolate. Tell me about it. I remember a lot the chocolate. So let's talk about a little bit about your career. You shared with me that you actually went to college for audio and broadcasting, and video production. So talk to me about that.
Yeah, a small college, community college in Cincinnati, audio video productions and broadcasting. And yeah, I mean, not a lot to tell there. I just knew that I had to do some form of education if I wanted to get a job in radio. Otherwise, had to be really persistent and probably to the point where someone would just give you a break. And the likeliness of that happening, probably not that great. So I made the decision to try to get a degree of some sort to see if I can get a job in radio. And about a quarter of the way while I was in college, I actually got a job in radio before I even graduated college, which was so cool. Small job. I was a board op. That stands for board operator. I think I made $5 an hour. I worked about 15 hours a week. But I was there. I was at a station. I was officially hired at a station. So for me, it was perfect.
So when did you know, when you were in school, did you already know when you went to college that you wanted to go into video and broadcasting?
Well,
video?
the audio video, so more so audio production as opposed to video production, but the type of, I had to select it as a audio video, sort of it encompassed kind of all 1 degree, everything there. But I was there mostly for audio production and broadcasting. That's the biggest part that I wanted. But, I learned a lot about video stuff too, but I just didn't have a huge desire to do video. But as far as knowing when I wanted to be on radio or do audio production, for as long as I can remember, I mean, being a little boy.
Wow.
I listened to the radio all the time. I was attracted to radio. Casey Kasem, I throw Casey Kasem out. I throw him out a lot because he was a huge inspiration and he meant a lot to a lot of us, people who grew up listening to Casey.
Yeah.
And, I wanted to be just like him. I thought he had it all, so I was that little boy on Sundays listening to his show and recording on cassette and, all that kind of stuff. So
wow. And you have
from a very young age, I knew.
You have the voice for it too. So, I mean,
lucky me. I mean, it's kind of funny. I think about this often, there are people who want to be on radio that do not have a radio voice. They don't have a announcer voice, but that's okay because it's not all about that. Sure, that helps. Yeah. And we grew up in a time, the majority of us, I'm speaking about Gen X, where, the broadcasters that we listened to, they had that, you're listening, that kind of, that sort of delivery, so we were used to that.
Yeah.
But, broadcast has changed and, with social media, anyone who jumps in front of a camera, gets on social media, is on a microphone of some sort, you are who you are. People are attracted to who you are. It helps to have a nice voice, I think, in a radio type situation. But just being yourself. I encourage people, people message me a lot, and I know you've interviewed Ed of 1980 something live. And I'm sure anyone who has worked in radio or has been on TikTok or has done something like this in social media will tell you that, you know, we get messages. People want to know, how do I do this? What do I need to do? You know, like, I'm afraid people aren't going to like me and all this stuff. I say, just jump in and just do it and just be yourself. Don't overthink it. Don't think you have to have a radio voice to do this, because you definitely do not.
Absolutely. I get a lot of I just stopped the scroll because I heard that New York voice. So, hey, you know, there's an audience for everyone, right?
Yeah, for sure. Right. Your people will find you.
Absolutely. So talk to me about, actually, you know, you told me a little bit about that you worked in actual radio for 10 years. Tell me what that experience was.
So, yeah, it was a handful of radio stations in greater Cincinnati, northern Kentucky area. You know, it all started, you know, like I said, I was, you know, I was the guy that called up the radio stations all the time, to the point where they all knew who I was, you know, because I'd called in any opportunity I had to make a request. I would show up at all their local broadcasts. You know, they would broadcast from the mall or the dealerships or whatever. But it got to the point where people started to know, like, oh, it's that kid that, you know, calls in all the time or shows up all the time. So I was just always a big fan of radio. But it all started with someone just giving me a break finally. I think I was just persistent enough where someone said, you know, hey, you're going to school currently for it. We have a position as a board operator. And that's, you know, that's where it started, very part-time. Mm-hmm. But as far as like 10 years, so different radio stations, not the same position the entire 10 years. And they were not 10 consistent years. There were a couple years here and there where I didn't work in radio at all. You know, I had done some other things, but yeah, I've done anything from on air, late night. I've done board up. I've done traffic. I've done weather. I produced NKU basketball in Northern Kentucky on the radio. Produced a talk show on a Christian conservative talk radio station.
Oh, wow.
And I produced high school football on the radio.
Wow.
And I've worked at a country station. You know, I've kind of done different things. Not everything I did with radio or working for a radio, for a broadcasting company, was me on air. You know, I did other sort of behind the scene things too. So.
Yeah, which is a perfect segue to ask you, name one of those behind the scenes moments that are memorable to you.
Yeah, well, I mean, so another position that I held in radio was I did marketing and I did sales. So it's because I had an understanding of how it worked, you know, and quite frankly, you know, if I wasn't working in radio, I had positions where I was either a manager or I was in sales. And I think it's because I'm just good with people. I think people like me and I enjoy meeting people and that sort of customer service kind of thing. So I found out that the skills that I had from doing radio and, you know, sort of, you know, engaging with an audience, also was like really good with like sales, you know, or customer service, you know, so did some stuff like that. But as far as like behind the scenes stuff in radio, I mean, I had some cool opportunities. I did some cool stuff. I thought it was, you know, I've had backstage at concerts. I've interviewed bands. I've I've got to see tons of great music, tons of great bands, and, you know, things I probably wouldn't have been able to do otherwise if I didn't have connections in radio.
Absolutely. And you did even voiceovers as well, right?
I did, yeah. And there were times, of course, when I worked in radio where, you know, I did commercials, I did radio spots. I joke about one. We have, you know, I have people that come in from Texas, and every time I see someone says they're from Texas, I'm always reminded of a national commercial that I did on radio. And it was for, I think it was traveltex.com. That just, it's been a while, but every time someone comes in, they said they're from Texas, I'm reminded of that commercial that I did, that national radio spot, where I mentioned Texas, you know, about being a place to travel and everything. And so, yeah, you know, that's the audio production side of me. I always wanted to do commercials, radio imaging, which is basically all the stuff that you hear, you know, you're listening to Q102, you know, or like those sort of things. Like I've always wanted to do that kind of stuff too. And that's where the audio production stuff of that comes from. So did a little bit of both, had on air shifts and did, you know, production as well.
Yeah. So talk to me that how did that then now transpose into the world of TikTok? Do you find, it overlaps? How do you feel about, the skills? Is it the same? Can you give me kind of like a comparison between what you did and what you're doing now?
It's very similar to radio. I mean, it's a professional, broadcast, right? I mean, the audio is good. I've got the microphone. I've got, it's almost like people they have an opportunity to watch their local DJ in the radio station. A lot of people tell me that. And I think with the type of format that I have, 70s, 80s, 90s rock, Gen X sort of,
Right.
people, it's a very nostalgic feel, they're feeling like I'm watching my local radio DJ from the 80s on TikTok, in a very contemporary sort of setup here, and it's pretty wild, but it more or less feels like I'm doing an air shift, like I'm on radio again, like it sort of feels that way.
Yeah.
With the exception of you're engaging with chat, of course. And, right. One of the biggest hurdles I think was when I started doing TikTok back in February was, I have to talk over the songs because in radio, you never did that. You didn't interrupt
Right.
the song. You did a front cell and a back cell. You introduced the song.
Right.
You introduce the next song. You sort of, the top and bottom of the song. You never
Right.
talked over it. So for me, that was a little bit of a challenge because you're just not used to doing that if you work in radio.
Were you one of those DJs on the radio? I remember as a kid, I think I was 10 years old, and my parents got me a cassette radio, and the DJ would always spoil the song at the end. I'm like,
well, Casey was known for doing that too, but yeah, I mean, those times were so much fun. Again, I would record Casey's show every Sunday. I had just stacks and stacks and stacks of cassettes. I was the kid that would edit out all of those recordings, all those songs, and then I would make mixtapes, and then I would share those mixtapes with friends at school. I was that kid that had all the music, all the records.
So you were the popular kid in school.
I was pretty popular. I got along with everyone. I'm not going to lie. We were all segmented, right? You were a jock. You were a nerd, it sounds mean, but I mean, that's what we grew up in.
Of course.
And I was a kid that, I went through all phases of life. I had short hair, I had a mohawk, I had long hair all the way down to my waist. I had, I was a skateboarder. I did BMX. I listened to hip hop. I played basketball. I played tennis. I played musical instruments. I hung out with all people of all color and all walks of life. I always felt like I was different from everyone because I just got along with everyone. I had no enemies. I had no problems with anyone. That's awesome. I think being the kid that had access to all the music and all the mixtapes and everything helped for sure.
Absolutely. You were the popular kid. So you were the go-to kid when it came to music.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I've mentioned this before on my shows. I was a kid that was fortunate enough to live walking distance of one of the greatest malls in Cincinnati at that time that had everything. I lived walking distance of Peaches Records, which huge record store, national record store. And, I had a great supporting, family that loved what I did and supported it and did not mind that I was blasting music all the time. And, I would save my lunch money or my allowance or whatever, any money that I received as gifts or whatever, and I would buy new records. Every Tuesday morning, new records were released. And so, I was the kid that had all the music before anybody else, most of the time. And
do you have still that collection of vinyl or?
So sadly, I do not. We had a house fire. It's been, over 25 years ago. Oh, and, wow. Not a complete loss, but the majority of the things that I had in boxes and storage, were in the basement, and that's where the fire originated and everything was gone. There were some things that were not in that space, and I still have some of those things today, but pretty much lost, most everything I had. And, at that time I had things, from working in radio. I had a lot of promotional albums, promotional CDs, cassettes, you name it, t-shirts, everything. stuff that I never even opened that was sadly, lost in that fire.
Oh, wow. I didn't even know that. I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, it's all good. Thank you.
Thankfully, the collection behind you, because that fascinates me.
Yeah.
I like that Scooby-Doo mystery truck right there, that mystery van.
The microphone kind of blocks, but it's no secret. Obviously, I'm a collector, and I think a part of that is that it's I love the things that I had as a kid, and I still love those things, and it brings me a lot of joy. I will just sit here. I'm in here this space all the time. I work from home. I have a day job. I work from home. I'm fortunate enough to work from home, and I'm right here. Just right over here. I've got a sort of a work daytime setup here, but I game from home. I'm a gamer. Thank you for the popcorn. I'm trying to see the chat. I'll be honest with you. I usually wear readers, but I feel goofy wearing those sometimes. No offense to anyone that wears glasses, but for me, it's just I don't always like it. But anyway, so I can't see the chat that well, and I apologize, guys, because I know a lot of you are being.
Wait till you start getting into the mid 50s. Because I know, what are you now? 20? I was gonna say 22. Oh, you're 52.
I'm 52. Yeah, 1973.
All right. So wait till you start getting into the middle of the 50s. Then you're really gonna need these.
Yeah, the whole readers thing started in. In my 40s, of course, but so I love to find things and collect things. People gift me things. My wife and daughter, I can pretty much expect to get something to add to my shelf every birthday or Christmas.
That's awesome.
We're fortunate enough to live near, antique stores and vintage toy stores and stuff like that. So going out and finding that stuff is pretty easy.
I love it.
And it's just fun. Like I said, I sit in here sometimes and I play with this stuff. Like I interact with it. It brings me a lot of happiness.
Cool. That is so cool.
I'm a big kid.
Talk to me about, you just joined TikTok February 8th, if I'm correct, of this year.
My first live. First time going live. Yeah.
Your first time going live, right?
This year.
So it's been roughly 6 months?
Yeah, it'll be 7 months. What's the date today? In 2 days, it'll be 7 months. That's right.
So in that time, you have gained over 8,000 followers.
I did. Yeah.
Talk to me about that experience. How did it feel? It's surreal.
Mind blowing.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I still, I'm still like, I'm in shock. I mean, every time I see that number and every time I get on a live, I walk away with more followers. I mean, I think statistically, if you have something that people appreciate and love, you're going to keep gaining followers every time you go live. And, I hustled in August, as most of you know. I did 50 live shows in August. It was a personal challenge for me to just, August 31st was my birthday. I did a birthday live. I put in a lot of time and I picked up a lot of followers. I haven't looked at the exact numbers of sort of what happened as a result of August.
Right.
But I picked up a lot of followers in, but so it's mind blowing. I'm still in shock about it.
It's incredible.
I never thought it would be like this, honestly.
What do you think? I mean, because there's a lot of DJs, a lot of creators that that are not there. What do you think made it different? How did you stand out? What do you think is one of the reasons why you grew so fast?
Well, honestly, it took me a little while to really to understand it. I mean, I had to go to people and say, "What is it? Like what? Like?" And I'm a humble person. I'm not a proud person. I was not raised to be that way, and it's just I'm just not. I'm grateful for everything I have, every opportunity that I have, any opportunities that are given to me. So it's difficult for me to sit back and say, well, I deserve it. I've done, I've worked in radio. Well, of course I should have followers. Right. It's none of that at all. It is, I think I figured it out, and speaking with my wife and stuff, I think people just like me. I just think that I'm, a person that gets along with pretty much everyone, and
absolutely.
Well, I get along with everyone except for those that are full of hate and disgusting things, but
yeah, well, that's a they problem. You're awesome.
That's right.
You are awesome, Jojo. I think for the first time I'm getting to know my music, and I really enjoy your room. You're very personable. You're always engaging with the audience, and I think that really shows. It really shows when somebody is really humble, and people love that. That attracts people.
Thank you. And I think really the other big part is the content of the show. I play great music. It's a radio feel. For those of you who have not been to my show before, you're pretty much listening to the radio back in the 80s or 90s, right? With your favorite local radio DJ, because that's a part of who I am. That's always been my passion and love. And whenever I'm behind a microphone, it just happens naturally, you know, and it always has. And so there's that. My audio's good. I'm proud to say I've spent a lot of time getting the best audio quality possible into my iPhone here for TikTok, because that was important to me. This music is awesome. We love this music, and I wanted it to be represented in the best possible way, you know, so that, you know, there are other factors for sure. And all of those things together just makes for entertainment. And, you know, there are people that enjoy it, obviously. So, you know, I'm picking up followers as a result of that. So.
No, absolutely. So, you know, again, 7 months in, 500 hours of live streaming.
Over 500. Yeah. So
over
TikTok,
500.
I don't know exactly where I'm at, but as you know, Liz, because you put some work in too, TikTok will reward you with a notification. Congratulations. You've hit 500 hours of going live. So just after my birthday stream on August 31st, you know, that Monday, September 1st, I got that notification that I've, you know, achieved 500 hours, you know, of being live.
And what do you, I know there's probably many of those 500 hours, but what, if you could name at least one moment that was memorable to you from those lives that you've done?
Well, I would say without a doubt, the biggest one that I did a 12. I've done a couple 12-hour lives, and I've done a couple 8-hour lives. My very first 12-hour live, Memorial Day, this past, you know, Memorial Day, that was the one for me. We hit 1.7 million taps. I was emotional. Wow. You know, the achievement of all that, the accomplishment, all that, the feeling you get from hitting that. And seeing the chat just blow up, and the gifts and the fireworks, and like just all these things, man, it's you know, it overcomes you. I mean, that is one for me that sticks out as being like, now we've had some other great shows for sure, you know, but you know, that was the first time I got to experience the true, like, what this is about, you know, and the community and the fun that you can have with it, you know, those, you know, those achievements or whatever. But, you know, people think I'm crazy. Some people think I'm crazy. Like, how do you do 12 hours? How do you sit here for 12 hours and engage and talk to people and play music? And it does not feel like work to me at all. It does not at all. My body doesn't really even get tired. I think I just love it so much. It's just, I have no problems with it at all. I will do it again, and I have, and you know, I'll do it again for sure. You know?
Absolutely. I agree with that. You really, because, you know, now my lives are 4 hours long, and I dreaded when I was, you know, making soap. Not that I don't like doing that, but I love the trivia so much that I could easily see myself doing it
all the time.
All the time. You know what I mean? I
well,
just
you can
enjoy
tell.
it.
You can tell that you love it and enjoy it. You know, you're so good at it, and people love you. And when all that kind of happens at once, it's a great feeling, right? It's like the best feeling ever.
It really is. The support on this app has been amazing. The people have been amazing. Thank you so much, guys, for your support. Everyone in the chat, guys, for the subs. Please drop
thank
those.
you. Sorry, I'm seeing the gifts and everything. I love you guys. We definitely appreciate you all. Thank you. I love you all. You guys are awesome. Thank you for being here. Thanks for supporting Liz.
Thank you. I appreciate you. So let's talk about the nostalgia. You know, people love the nostalgia. You know, your visual DJ vibe, the little tchotchkes that you have behind you. You know, like I said, the first one that drew me. Well, there's several. The Pac-Man one, because I was a gamer. Yeah, still a gamer, by the way. I do virtual reality gaming.
Oh, the VR goggles or whatever.
I do that.
That's so cool. I've never done that before.
Yeah, it's fun. But if you have motion sickness, just make sure that I have these patches that I put behind my ear, because the roller coaster ones really feel real.
Nice.
So where do you come up with your throwback ideas? And which one has been your favorite one that your audience has really appreciated?
What do you mean throwback? Like music-wise or?
Music-wise, in general, because you do have like whole retro look, like, you know, the vibe. It's, you know, definitely I could tell when I go into your room because of your background, because of your shirts, because of your music. Like,
does it feel like you're stepping back in time?
I love it though. It's like I'm stepping back in a time machine for sure.
That's definitely what I was going for.
Yeah.
With the exception, well, I should say that everything you see here, I already had before I started going on TikTok. It's not like I put this all together for TikTok.
Okay.
You know, this is my space I'm in all the time, and I'm a very nostalgic person. So having that, you know, the some of the lights were the only sort of thing that I added to give more of that sort of visual. But I love that it looks that way, and it never really dawned on me that I think when people are first scrolling in.
Yes.
I think it's eye-catching to where they're like, what is this? This is a very retro feel, the music, the vibe, the DJ, like it sort of feels like I've stepped back in time, you know? And again, I get feedback from people. People message me and they say, I really appreciate you. I feel like a kid again, or I feel like, you know, like it's, which is awesome. But sorry, back to your question, the kind of the throwback stuff. I mean, as far as like throwback, so I did, so Father's Day, this past Father's Day in June, I did a top 100 countdown. It was on a Sunday. I typically do a 4-hour show on a Sunday mornings. And this came out to be about 8 hours, 100 songs. We did an 8-hour live. And it just so happens that that Father's Day was also the anniversary, you know, when Casey Kasem passed away that day, you know, so many years ago. Yeah. And I thought, you know, I have to do something. So I quickly sort of came up with this top 100. And during the broadcast, during the show, I had used some sound bites of Casey Kasem. And I've incorporated for every, you know, song, you know, I had a pre-produced audio bite, you know, number 99, you know, and it just sort of felt like, you know, you were listening to kind of a, you know, an 80s countdown, I guess, in a sense. So
that's awesome.
I think that was probably a throwback. Like if you're thinking about like what was the most memorable sort of kind of throwback thing, I would say definitely that. It just felt
I missed that one. Wow.
Yeah. I was really happy with the way all that turned out. I put it together pretty quick. You know, I don't have, it's not like I have a lot of time. I've got a day job. I've got a family. I don't have a lot of time to put in a TikTok to like you know, sort of put things together, pre-plan, you know, like even creating playlists and stuff like that. Like I don't create playlists ahead of my shows. Everything that you hear on my show, I'm picking the songs on the fly.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't pre-plan any of my playlists. Now I will tell people I don't take requests. I have a playlist. So sure, it's a quote unquote playlist because it's already, you know, it's music that I'm going to play, but it's, you know, most of the times I don't know what I'm playing until the song before.
Wow. So, I mean, because there's so many artists, how do you keep track of which artists you've played, which artists you haven't played?
Well, the software that I use will let you know, like there's sort of a, like an icon, like a check mark or something that says like you've played that during that show, without getting too techie. So there's software that does that. But so for instance, the 12-hour live I did on Memorial Day, there was no repeats. I didn't repeat one song.
Wow.
So there's a lot of music when it comes down to, you know, the generations of, you know, the 70s, 80s, 90s, right? Like there's a lot of music to choose from. So thankfully.
Right. And I want the audience to know, do you only listen to rock on your, you know, outside of TikTok? Because I want them to know.
No, I do not. Yeah, I think some people might be surprised by that. I wear rock band shirts. I, you know, obviously my show is all about rock music, but no, I'm a music lover, period. I love most all genres and styles of music, pretty much. Yeah, I mean,
awesome.
Yeah, and I can share with you some of the stuff I listen to. If you like.
Absolutely. Of course, this is all you, Jojo. Absolutely. Yeah. Yes.
So obviously rock is my favorite. That's what I chose to do for my show here on TikTok because I thought I love it more than any other genre. However, I love 80s music, period. I listen to Madonna, Michael Jackson, Hall & Oates. I love all of it. Phil Collins. I'm a huge fan of movie soundtracks, Footloose. Like I love 80s music. I love classic rock, you know, the 70s. I'm sorry.
I said, no, that's awesome. I said, that's awesome. Yeah.
70s music, you know, I love that. Old school hip hop. I mean, I was the kid that did the breakdancing and, you know, I had parachute pants and I moonwalked and I did the backspin and the centipede and I love Run DMC. I love Beastie Boys. I love A Tribe Called Quest. I love Public Enemy. I listen to a lot of that. Every day I'm listening to that music. I have a good mix of like all the music that I love. I listen to classical. There are moments throughout my day where I switch it up and I just throw some classical on. It's very like therapeutic.
Yeah.
There's some great like brain sort of things there that happens when you're listening to classical music. I don't listen to a lot of country, but I love old school country. I love 80s country.
Nice.
I love, Willie Nelson, Waylon Jennings, Conway Twitty, which is, some people might laugh and whatever, but Oak Ridge Boys, Alabama, like I love that stuff. John Denver. I mean, I listen to all that stuff. So my dad was a country musician. He was a singer-songwriter, recording artist. He wrote and recorded music, and that was country music. So, country was always sort of around our house, and I love some of that Ronnie Millsap, and like that stuff is so good, man. I love it. So that's it might surprise people, maybe not. I don't know. I feel like Gen X, like I think that's I think that's one of the traits of Gen X is that you didn't just love one particular music or only listen to one particular piece of type of music, because we lived in a time where there was a lot of great music, period. Doesn't matter the genre, there was just great music out there during that time. So
absolutely.
I loved it all. But
would it be fair to say that the decade of the 80s is your favorite when it comes to music?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you think about the stuff that was released around that time. I mean, my Michael Jackson Thriller album, I had, the Def Leppard music, like, epic releases during that time, for sure. And of course, I love the late 70s. I mean, who doesn't love Led Zeppelin, right? And if you love rock music, I mean, Boston, for us, it's classic rock, which our music is now categorized as classic rock. So, when I say classic rock today, I have to say the classic rock that we think is classic rock. Right. Which is primarily 70s, but the fact is 80s, or I think even 90s is considered classic rock at this point.
Yeah.
Which is crazy,
music has changed. I mean, from it's not the same as today. Do you listen to any contemporary music?
I do. Yeah, there's a little bit. Now, of course, we have a daughter and Little Riot, and so there's always music in our house. So some more, probably more of the sort of modern stuff. I can touch on that. So I love Dave Matthews Band. I listen to Dave Matthews, been to a lot of Dave Matthews concerts. I'm a drummer. I don't play drums anymore. I quit playing music about 8 years ago, but I was in a band and we covered a lot of Dave Matthews. So love Dave Matthews. Top of my head, Lumineers. I love the Lumineers. Big fan of the Lumineers. I love that music. Wow. Little Riot will play some stuff for us and I'll hear some stuff. Billie Eilish, she loves Billie Eilish. I've listened to Billie Eilish. I love some of the Billie Eilish stuff for sure. I think it's awesome. I think it's really good. There's probably some others that I don't know the exact artists, but Coldplay, somebody said Coldplay. I do love Coldplay. I listen to Coldplay quite a bit.
I'm waiting for Miriam to drop The Cure. Do you listen to The Cure? I'm asking for a friend.
I like The Cure.
Okay.
When I say I'm not a huge fan, that doesn't imply that I don't like them, because I love them. I think they're amazing. I love The Cure. Yeah. Listened to them a lot when they were, back in when their music first came out. The reason why I say I'm not a big fan is because I can't tell you every single album and song that they've released. I don't know all the band members' names, but I do love them. I love Depeche Mode. Like, I love that music for sure.
Me too.
Some of the heavier, like Nine Inch Nails. I mean, I listened to Nine Inch Nails a lot in the 90s. Industrial music, Ministry, some of the heavier stuff. But what can I say? I love music. Like, I don't need to sort of only belong to one thing. I'm a guy that loves all music.
Yeah. No,
rock being my favorite. I love rock, metal, hard rock. It's my favorite.
I'm just going to ask, have you ever listened to Latin music at all, or are you any?
Sure. Yeah. Okay. I mean, I'm familiar with it, but not to the point where I can tell you anything about it. I mean, I've heard it, and anything that's up. Yeah, I'm sorry.
You mean to tell me you've never danced salsa?
I don't dance. I'm not a good dancer. I'm not a very good dancer. Well, I danced at my wedding, but that's like,
But you can break dance, guys. He can break
I can
dance.
break dance. Yeah, I may still have it, but I may end up in the hospital if I try. But
Oh my God, I'm sure that you could still do
sure
it.
I'll pull every single muscle in my body.
You look fit to me. I think you still got it in you.
Cool and again.
Thank you guys.
Cool and Gang.
Thank you guys.
Pearl Jam, big Pearl Jam fan. Love 90s grunge. Love all that. Love the post grunge stuff like Counting Crows, Fuel. I can't think right now, but like
Run DMC. You told me you said Run DMC.
Run DMC, absolutely,
yeah.
Forever. You know, I was around when Run DMC came out. Like I was buying all their records. I was on board with that for sure. Love the old school hip hop. You know,
right?
Melly Mel and gosh, I can't think right now, but you know, all those groups as well. Loved all that stuff.
They're amazing.
Fuel, love Fuel. Yes, Angie, love Fuel. Love 90s stuff. Matchbox 20. Like I can go on and on and on.
For sure. And guys, you know, also in the chat, you know, ask away if you have any questions.
You just might have to read it to me, Liz, because I can't read this.
Oh yeah, and it goes so like
I should just put my glasses on. I don't know why I'm struggling here.
Do you want to go get them? Oh, there you have them right there. There we go. You look great in your glasses.
Well, you know. Thank you.
That's okay. So, if you had to pick your favorite artist of all time, I mean, I'm sure there's so many, but which one speaks to you the most?
Well, without a doubt, I'm going to have to say Queensryche, and I mentioned this during my show. And for those of you that don't know who Queensryche is, I think like some of their mainstream stuff, Silent Lucidity, a lot of people will know that one because it was sort of a crossover song. It hit many formats on radio. But yeah, without a doubt, Queensryche, and there are many reasons why. I love their music. You know, when I was a kid, I joined their fan club. Like, it's just sort of all those things, a lot of nostalgic things. I remember when I first discovered them, and I remember first time meeting them. I remember the first concert I saw by them. I just love their music so much. Even a newer Queensryche. So, you know, a lot of people, if you know Queensryche, you know, the original band members of Queensryche have changed. They've gone their separate ways. Different lead singer now, still putting out albums, different lead singer now. But even today with their new music, I still love their new music too. So
that's awesome.
But yeah, sorry, long story short, Queensryche is my all-time favorite band.
Awesome. So you spoke about concerts, and then you told me that you went to many concerts. Which one would you say is one of the most memorable ones that you went to?
Well, I mean, seeing Queensryche for the first time, of course, because being such a big fan, and then actually being right there front of stage and watching these guys. Right. You know, Metallica stands out as one. First time seeing Metallica blew me away. So much energy, amazing. I mean, I can't really pick. Well, you know what? Actually, it's kind of slipping my mind, but I would say maybe the pinnacle, like the top. Yeah, I kind of thought about this earlier, and I thought I had the right answer, but actually, I was just reminded. Prince, without a doubt.
Nice.
I would say my favorite concert. Queensryche definitely there for other reasons, but it's Prince, right? Like that's you know. And
sure.
Kind of a long story there, but I actually ended up. I worked that show at that concert of Prince. I met Prince and I met the band. I had dinner with him. And I worked for, it's kind of and he gave me his guitar pick. I've showed it on camera before. But anyways, it kind of a long story, but I worked for a production company at the time, and I got to stay there for the entire concert. And after the concert in Cincinnati, Prince did a VIP only after party, small venue concert. And I was in charge of running that. I was responsible for like all the logistics and everything about that. And, you know, so that was an awesome experience. But anyways, that's, I would say seeing Prince in concert, I was right on the side of the stage. So I was literally right there on the stage. Like the stage was amazing.
That's amazing. Oh, that's definitely memorable, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And you had the opportunity to interview other artists. So talk to me about that experience. You said you even met your favorite band backstage as well.
Yeah, so I met Beastie Boys.
Yeah.
And Beastie Boys had, if you look at some of the history of Beastie Boys and sort of the timeline of things that they did, they had a drummer. The original Beastie Boys, they had a drummer. It was a friend of theirs. And I actually don't remember her name now, and I feel bad about it because that's a big part of this story, but it's been a long time. But anyway, so that person went off, formed another band. Beastie Boys signed them. That band is called Luscious Jackson. And in '94, Lollapalooza was going on, and most of you know what Lollapalooza is. But anyways, Capitol Records had set me up with an interview with Luscious Jackson, so I interviewed Luscious Jackson on their tour bus with the Beastie Boys.
Wow.
I would say that was a big one for sure.
Yeah. Well,
and then there are a lot of sort of small, like not full blown interviews, but more of like, I had credentials to be able to go backstage, and I can quickly grab someone from, a band, whatever, the singer of Skid Row, Sebastian Bach or something, right? Like working in radio, you had opportunities to be able to quickly hang out with them and just get like some sound bites. Like, hey, Sebastian, can you do, hey, this is Sebastian Bach, you're listening to it, like this sort of, so not really full blown interviews, but sort of, met them, shook their hand, maybe had a quick drink with them or something, and
that's awesome.
And got some, recorded little bits of some audio from them, but not like full blown interviews.
Do you have any signed merch from any of the bands that you?
Not anymore. Again, part of the house fire, like all in storage. Yeah, these things were all boxed up. They were meant to not ever be like out, like they were put away. Right? They were just like keepsake stuff.
Yeah.
You box it up. Some of it you display. A lot of it gets boxed up. So unfortunately, I did not. But at that time, I had one white T-shirt, and every time I would go to a concert or had an opportunity to meet a band, I would bring that T-shirt, or I would wear that T-shirt, and every single person signed it. And I can tell you that it pretty much had no room on it anymore.
Wow.
After getting so many autographs, so many signatures. So yeah, there was a time where I had that T-shirt, and I remember the very first time that I wore it and got somebody to sign it, and then it just,
wow. Do you still at least have pictures with,
No, pictures were lost too. People ask for pictures all the time. When I tell people I used to have hair all the way down to my waist, they're like, "We got to see a picture." I'm like, unfortunately, there are no photos anymore. Now, some family members might have some stuff.
Yeah,
I never really reached out to them about it. Like to me, it's just like, I love that time, those times in my life for sure. But I've got a lot of great memories in my head, and I love to talk about them, and I love to remember them and think about them.
Absolutely. So talk to me about like, there's a lot of up and coming DJs on TikTok. What advice would you give them if they were to start, and how to get to where you're at?
Don't do it at all. It's not a fun experience at all. It's terrible. It's a horrible waste of time. Do something else. Read a book. No, I'm just kidding. I would say just go for it. Don't overthink it. And definitely do not feel like you need to buy a bunch of stuff. You're going to see people on here that have been doing it for a while. They've got the microphone, they've got the setup, they've got all the, you don't need to do that. Just start where you're at with what you have, period. And I would say for any endeavor, anything that you want to do in your life, start with what you have. Just start, because you're not going to know anything about it until you do it. You got to get your feet wet, but you got to do more than that. You just have to show up, be consistent, just keep doing it. Yeah. Don't sit back for days and hours and say, well, I'm not ready yet, because if I don't know exactly, this, and like, don't overthink it, because you're going to waste your time.
Absolutely. I totally
start
agree.
And know that you're going to make mistakes, and it's okay, because for every mistake you make, that's something you're learning. You're not going to make that mistake again. So, be consistent, show up, start with what you have. Don't buy a bunch of crap. Just go for it. Just turn the thing on and just go for it. Just do it. It'll evolve. Absolutely. It'll get better. It'll get more polished. You'll learn from your mistakes. It's a growing thing for sure, but you don't need to have it all figured out before you start to go live.
I'm glad you said that, because I don't know if 1980 is still here. I was having a conversation with him this week, and I said to him, now that I had no idea that Trivia was gonna grow so fast. Like literally in less than 2 months, I've gained over 800 followers. Right?
That's amazing.
Every time I go live, it's like 25, 30 followers per live, which is phenomenal. So I even told him, oh my God, I don't feel ready. I told him, I don't have the right mic. I have, my sound board is not the best. You know what I mean? And he was like, just work with what you have. This is literally what you just said. Work with what you have.
That's right.
Yeah. So
Ed's here. He's right there.
Yeah. Right, Ed? I mean, Ed just told, because I was going crazy with that. I was like, I don't know. They're not going to, my room, I'm so concerned about the sound. And of course, I'm not a DJ, but I do entertain using sounds, right? So I want the look, I want everything. But he's like, just work with what you have. And, and take it from there.
Yeah, and look where you are now, right? You look at the first time you went live to where you are now.
Oh, yeah.
It evolves, it changes, right? Because you're learning as you're going through it. When I first started in February, I mean, fortunate enough for me, I already had this microphone. I already had this audio. Like what you guys can't see, I'm an audio guy. I've worked in radio, so I've had that stuff. And some of the stuff that I have now is because I actually did some work. I did some voiceover and I produced a podcast and stuff like that. So I needed these things. And, I had kind of a head start in that sense of like, okay, I know I can get the audio to be pretty darn good. But I'm doing this off of my phone. I have a nice camera and I've tried the nice camera. For me, I'm not super comfortable with the nice camera. Yeah. I don't know why. It's a weird, quirky thing that it's just who I am. It's my brain for some reason. So I choose to use my iPhone. So I'm using video off my iPhone. But, when I first started, my background wasn't like this. I was faced differently in this room. But anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. But anyway, so you start out and then it will change and it'll
honestly, Jojo, if you wouldn't have told me, I would have never guessed that you are streaming from your iPhone. It doesn't look like you're streaming from your iPhone.
Yeah, it's an iPhone.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Gosh, what am I at? A 13. My wife and daughter have better phones than I do. But I'm excited because Apple event is happening next week and they're going to release they're going to talk about the new iPhone that's supposed to have a better camera, which I'm excited for that. Because I'm a techie nerd and I love that kind of stuff. So
me too. So we can relate with that because my husband will say for an anniversary or for a birthday, so what piece of jewelry do you want? I'm like, nope, I want the newest phone or I want the newest this. I love electronics. That's me. I'm a nerd when it comes to that too. So you did mention earlier that you did break dance. And so talk to me about that experience. What got you into break dancing? I know it was a cool thing back in the past.
I mean, everyone was doing it at the time. I mean, in the 80s, all my friends were doing it, and that's what you did. You met up and you grabbed your cardboard. If you know. You grabbed your cardboard and you met up with your friends, and you guys learned how to break dance. And you had the boombox, you had the ghetto blaster, you had the music. Like that was just a part of reality at that time. That's what everyone was doing. Absolutely. Long before internet and it's
absolutely.
We were breakdancing.
Would it be safe to say that I know that your music is 80s, right? And do you
70s, 80s, 90s.
70s, 80s, right? 90s, do you get millennials and do you get Gen Zs as also coming into your room?
I do. Yeah, not everyone sort of says, "Hey, I'm not Gen X," but
right.
Like, but I do. I know that I do because people do message me, and people do mention that in chat, and they say, "Hey, I'm not Gen X," but but that's okay. Like, it's everyone is welcome.
Oh, absolutely. I'm just asking because I have a tough crowd. Trust me, I sometimes get people from the previous generation. We were having a debate. I'm a boomer. No, I'm a Gen Jones, which to me, I didn't even know there was a difference. So my some of my audience are kind of critical when it comes to that. So I was curious to see if they were going and say, well, this is, not my generation, but I'm sure they appreciate it because my daughter's Gen Z and she loves 80s music. So
sorry, I was going to say, there are content creators who are not Gen X that are playing Gen X music.
Right.
You're Def Leppard DJ. I got to put Marissa on the spot. Everyone, I think at this point knows who Marissa is. And Marissa's awesome. She's new and up and coming, taking off, doing really, really well. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, and I think I even saw her in chat here, but I think she's 19. And the biggest Def Leppard fan that I know, and I've mentioned this before, and I used to always say, I'm the biggest Def Leppard fan that I know, but that's no longer the case. Your Def Leppard DJ is
She's
a bigger
right there.
Def Leppard fan than I am.
She's right there.
Okay. There
awesome.
she is, yes.
Yeah. I've been to her room. She's a sweetheart.
I love that, she's younger. She's not, I think 19, right? And then, 19 and, loves this music. She is a DJ herself and she, her content is this music. So, the reason I should probably sort of, if you don't mind, Liz, I recently changed kind of I hate to say branding because I hate to put a label on things, but I am, I got to be realistic here and say, well, I am on social media. So you do have to be aware of hashtags and SEO and how to get out there and stuff like that, right? It's an investment of time and you want to make sure that you're getting in front of new people. I'm trying to grow this thing, right? So
of course,
I recently just changed. I was Jojo Riot, your 80s and 90s rock DJ, right? But I just announced just earlier this week, in fact, I'm now Gen X rock, which it's by saying Gen X rock, I think people who they know exactly what that means, right? I don't really need to explain. So that, that's, so 70s, 80s, 90s, which I just said I don't need to explain, but I'm explaining it now. So, the music we as Gen X or Gen Xers love, even if you're not a Gen X, you still know exactly what I'm talking about. If I say this is Gen X rock, right? They have a sense of like, oh, okay, I know what that means.
Absolutely.
So I chose to do that for simplicity and just the Gen X thing is a very like researched thing on TikTok. So I thought like SEO purposes and stuff like that, engagement, it just makes sense to do that. So
absolutely. That's a really good marketing strategy
in that sense, but
that's awesome. Yeah. I that's definitely will be as a SEO perspective. Because I also worked in marketing. Absolutely. That was a smart move for sure.
And for me, what that means is Padre just nailed it. I added 70s to my format. I used to just do 80s and 90s, but now I've got Led Zeppelin and some of that stuff. Awesome. But a good mix, I'm not like, it's all mixed, it's anyways.
Yeah. Well, and I see Liz Francis, JoJo merch now available. So talk to me a little bit about that merchandise. I need to get a hold of it. So talk to me about it.
It's pretty cool. I'm blown away by the amount of sales, honestly. And I'm not trying to, it's hard for me to I'm not trying to glorify all that and say, I sold, it's not that at all, but it's mind blowing to me in a sense that, I've sold, launched it, a little over a week ago, opened up the store, the JoJo merchandise. So jojoriot.com is my website. There's a button there you can click on. It says merch. It'll take you to the store. So you can buy t-shirts, hoodies, stickers, coffee mug, couple other things which I can't think of right now. Tote bag, I think a tote bag is one. It's got the JoJo Riot logo. Someone that is here in chat, they can post that logo if they wanted to, but it's just the JoJo Riot logo on all these different items, on all these products.
Liz is saying you should be wearing your shirt.
I know. I thought about it like last minute, and I thought, I'm sorry. Anyways, the shirts are cool looking. Check them out for sure. But so it came to me because people were asking for it. I never had any desire to do it. It never crossed my mind to do it. I didn't think I was worthy of like being on a t-shirt or having my name on a t-shirt or something that somebody would pay for that. Like seriously, I didn't think anybody would, but people were asking for it. They said, "Where's the shirt? I want a JoJo shirt. How do I get one? When are you going to do it?" And it took me a while to finally pull the trigger on it, but I finally did it.
Yes. That's awesome.
It's been really cool. I've had, just about 50 sales so far since I opened that store in less than 2 weeks ago. So
that's phenomenal. That is phenomenal. Yeah, absolutely. You know what I want? I want a JoJo Funko Pop. That's what I want.
Well, there is talks of that happening. I know Commander Cody has a Funko Pop. I know Ed Vanderlei of 1980 something Live has a Funko, and I'm going to do it too. Cody has shared with me a little bit about what it takes to do that or whatever. So that is definitely going to happen. I don't have a date as to when that's going to happen, but I want one too. I collect Funko Pop. Like I think it would be cool to have a Funko of myself,
Absolutely.
So that's going to happen.
When you launch that, I want to be the first in line to get it because I know it's going to sell out right away.
Right.
What's something, and you shared with me something, and I want you to say it, that nobody knows about you? Talking about,
well, there's a lot that people don't know about me, but
the casting specifically, just to kind of refresh you what it was.
Something that maybe a lot of people don't know. Of course, I do remember I've talked about it once before on my show, but briefly. I didn't, whatever. So the thing that I chose was I was a actor in the Titanic movie. I was an actor in the Titanic on Tour exhibit, not the movie. The movie was this 97, 98, somewhere around there? After the success of the movie The Titanic, James Cameron's Titanic, Paramount Pictures, a exhibit went on tour, and some of you may remember this, where basically it was a traveling exhibit all throughout the country, and it had sets and different props and things that were used on the movie. And anyways, I worked for a production company at the time. I had worked in radio, and so I had some ties. And working for a production company, we were contracted to work sort of, the production point of that exhibit. Setting it up and things like that, and lights and all that kind of thing. Kind of the behind the scenes stuff. Anyways, somebody from Paramount Pictures came to us and said, "Guys, I'm really in a bind here. We need additional actors for the exhibit. We're short on actors." And for whatever reason, people were pointing to me and saying, "Man, you should do this. Go for it. Audition. Do it." And I thought, man, I had no desire to do this. I'm a guy that's behind a microphone in a radio station. People don't see my face. I'm not on stage performing. I can never do that. Well, I decided to go for it. Long story short, I auditioned. Paramount hired me, and I was an actor in the Titanic on Tour exhibit for that summer.
That's amazing. That's
and
amazing.
I was the part that I played. I was a Titanic crew member. And if you remember the movie, the crew member wore the wool sweater and the pants, the wool pants, that like sailor hat, like the hat, like navy, dark blue or whatever. So I wore that in this exhibit, and the wardrobe that I wore was actually screen used. It was used by an actor that played a crew member on the movie, and they tailored it to fit me. They had to tighten it up or whatever, and so anyways, that was a cool experience. I'd never did anything like that before in my life. Never had desire to, but what that entailed was I was a part of the exhibit, and I had to engage with people that were going through the exhibit, and I had to be in character, and I had to speak with them, and they took photos, and there was another actress that I worked with who looked like Rose from Titanic.
Really?
And she looked dead on her. Wow. And people thought it was her. And so a lot of photos with her, stuff like that.
That's awesome.
Anyways, it was a fun time in my life. It was really, really cool.
Can imagine. How did that even occur? Did you get approached? Did you just try?
Yeah, well, I was working for the production company that was hired to help out with some of the setup and design and stuff like that. Yeah, and had worked, been working in a radio, and for whatever reason, they said I should just go for it and audition. So I auditioned, and I got it. I had to learn some lines from the movie. And I was always pretty good at like character voices. I do voices here on my show because it's goofy and it's fun, and I like to do that kind of stuff. But I got into character. I don't remember exactly what I said, but I just went for it. I don't know. Yeah, because
you
good enough.
You do voiceovers now. Do you do voiceovers for any professional, like I don't know, books, movies, or anything like that?
No. I had always thought that I would end up doing that after radio because that's just a good thing to transition to. I know a lot of people that I worked with in radio that were on air that no longer work in radio, and they transitioned into voiceover because voiceover is huge now. Yeah. But it's oversaturated. I mean, anyone with a decent microphone and a quiet space in their house can be a voice actor, right? Because, it used to be back in the day, you had to go to New York or LA and audition and drive to a studio, and it's not like that anymore. Anybody with a decent microphone and a quiet space in the room can be a voice actor. So it's a very difficult thing to break into. Quite honestly, you have to go hungry for a while before you make it. So I didn't have that time, or, I have a family and stuff, and
of course
just could not get into that enough and dedicate myself enough to that to grow it, to become a career. I do know people who are doing it as a career, and that's awesome. I wish I could have done that, but not to say that I've not done voiceover. I've done like some corporate narration stuff. Companies have hired me to do like training videos, like when you're first hired or whatever, and
right.
Welcome to whatever company as a new employee. That's what
Yeah, I mean, you have the voice. I mean, you definitely have the voice for sure.
Yeah. I did a little bit of that. Kind of dabbled in audiobook narration. Love books, and actually, my daughter and I just quickly, when Little Riot was younger, when she was little Riot, her and I recorded an excerpt of a child book, child story or whatever, and we did character voices and just had fun with it. And I produced it, I added some music and audio sound effects and stuff, and I would love to do that for sure, but finding the time to try to do that again is just impossible. I'm just not at that place in my life where I can pour all of that time and energy and effort into that anymore.
Yeah, because you have also a full-time job as well.
I do. Yeah. I mean, I have a family. I'm 50 something years old. 52. Everybody knows that now, but, but it's never too late, of course. I mean, who knows? Yeah. Maybe I'll get sort of discovered again on TikTok, maybe somebody be like, you know what? We'd love to use your voice for whatever. Maybe
I truly believe so. I truly believe so. And you said you had a family and you have a beautiful daughter. What if your daughter would to say to you, that she wanted to follow your footsteps and, be like
I would say
dad?
that's awesome. Our daughter is a lot like me. She's a lot like Mrs. Riot too, of course, in some ways. But so our daughter she's a performer. She's in theater. She's been doing this since she was a little kid. She used to have a YouTube channel that her and I did together.
Wow.
Very, very polished, professionally produced YouTube channel. Wow. She did all kinds of things. She did unboxings. She did, tasting candies from around the world. Like, she had different pieces of content that she did at a very young age. Wow. So she's always been that kid anyway. So she already kind of is, she's had experience with social media and being in front of the camera and stuff, and being on stage and performing and acting. And, that's a part of who she is. But I don't think she would want to do TikTok. I just don't think it's,
right.
She does, local theater and stuff like that. Yeah. So in person, that's kind of her thing,
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be opposed to it, of course. I mean, I would support whatever she wanted to do,
So she sees you as a cool TikTok dad, as opposed to my daughter's like, it's like cringe. It's cringe, Mom. You're on TikTok.
She definitely thinks it's cool. This is not the first time that I've done something where my family is, they're used to me doing stuff. I've always done stuff. I used to be in a band. I played. Yeah. I played. We talked about that a little before. I gigged out a lot. They would come to some of the concerts, and support me and watch me and stuff like that. So they're used to, me doing things. I've done audio video podcasts. So I've been on camera before, I've done video podcasts and stuff like that. So they've seen all this stuff before, but they support it. They love it. They know that's who I am. Now, as far as Little Riot, like letting her friends know that her dad is on TikTok, that's kind of a different story. Maybe it's a little embarrassing, to say that or whatever, but it's funny because I will tell you that there are people locally who have discovered me on TikTok just because TikTok, and they're like, aren't you like, they're just like, oh my gosh, I just saw you on TikTok. And I'm like, what's the chances of that happening? But
that is awesome. Yeah, that's awesome. So you're even like FYP sending you even local.
It's a few people.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm. It's crazy.
So let me talk to you about, some rapid fire questions. Rock or hip hop, if you had to pick?
Rock.
The obvious. Rock, right? Rock all day,
sure.
right?
Yeah, for sure.
Vinyl,
but yeah.
Vinyl, cassette, or CD?
So I thought about that one. So cassette, for sure.
Oh,
which
now I'm
I
curious.
think a lot of people are going to be like, well, I would think vinyl. I own vinyl.
Yeah, I'm actually curious because cassette to me is annoying when you want a specific song and now you have to kind of either forward it, rewind it. So talk to me about that. Why
Well,
cassette?
I think it's just a nostalgic thing for me. Again, I mostly had cassettes when I was a kid. We had records, of course. We bought records.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, records came out. Records were produced whenever a new album came out. You were buying a record. But
Yeah.
there's just something about cassettes for me because I loved recording music. I loved recording, lifting music off of radio, recording
Yeah.
Casey Kasem. The production side of me that, comes from editing. I didn't know what I was doing at the time, but at the time I was
Yeah.
actually doing audio production. I was recording stuff onto a cassette. I was editing, splicing, cutting up those things that I recorded and then transferring them over into another cassette, right? That's how you made mixtapes.
Right,
You recorded
Yeah.
Casey's show and then you had to go back and edit all of that kind of stuff. Anyway, so for me, I would say cassettes. It's because I mostly, had cassettes, made cassettes, and there's just something about that. The way they feel, the rewinding. I don't know. It's just recording on a cassette was like the coolest thing ever. So sorry, long answer, but
Yeah, no,
I'll
I
go with
wish
cassettes.
I wish I kept that stuff. I honestly, mine didn't get lost in a fire, but I just thought the minute that, records became a thing of the past and CDs were in, I was like, I'm getting rid of the records. The minute the CDs came a thing of the past, and so forth, I got rid of my CDs. I wish I would have kept that stuff, because now in retrospect, I'm like, who knows what it would be worth now.
Yeah.
What dream band, if you had the opportunity, you'd love to drum for?
Well, as a drummer, again, I quit playing music, live about 8 years ago. And at that time, the band that I was with at that time, we were gigging out pretty heavily, 8 to 12 shows a month, I think, somewhere around there. Every weekend we were playing, we did a lot of corporate gigs and stuff like that. But anyways, I would have to say Queensryche because I know a lot of their music anyways. And,
Right.
I've had visions like if you're a musician and you like if there are bands or artists or musicians that inspire you that you look up to and you learn their music and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You have dreams and visualizations of being with that band, of being a part of that band. It's might sound a little corny or whatever, but I used to have dreams of like I was attending a Queensryche concert. The drummer got hurt and they needed someone to fill in. And I raised my hand in the crowd and said, "Hey, I know every single song. I can do it. I'm a drummer." I used to have dreams like that. So
That's awesome.
which sounds a little goofy maybe, but
That's your passion.
So in the dream, they're like, "Okay, what's your name?" And they bring me up on stage and, now I'm sitting down and I'm playing. So Queensryche for sure. Def Leppard is definitely up there as well. I think that would be awesome to be a part of Def Leppard. I could never be Rick Allen and I can never take the place of anyone really, but it's something fun to think about, I think.
Absolutely. And let me ask you, what is your biggest guilty pleasure song you'd never admit on the radio or even on TikTok?
Guilty pleasure song. I don't know if I have any one guilty pleasure song, but if I had to go there and give you something, I would say guilty pleasure music in general would be boy band stuff.
Boy band. Oh, now you got which
I like
one?
NSYNC. I like Backstreet Boys. I do. I'm not going to lie. That's who I am. I don't really care if people judge me for that, but and I love 90s R&B groups. When I was younger, the 80s, so New Edition, for those of you that don't know, New Edition, huge, boy group, boy band, whatever.
Yeah.
Loved New Edition. I remember being in sixth grade when I was a little boy in sixth grade and had the album, the New Edition album. And we had a party in my class. And of course, again, I was the kid that had all the records and the music and everything. So I got to DJ our little party. And I remember playing that New Edition album over and over and over. And people loved it. I play that song, Cool It Now. If you know, you know.
I
Cool
know.
It Now, one of my favorite songs by New Edition.
I love New Edition. Believe it or not, that I did know. Yeah.
Yeah. So if I had to say guilty pleasure stuff, I got to go with that. And again, some of the 90s R&B stuff, like, I can't think of some of them right now, but there are definitely some 90s R&B groups that I really love too.
That are memorable.
Mm-hmm.
Does anybody in the chat have any questions for Jojo?
Yeah, and I'm sorry for missing a lot of the chat. It's, as you know, it's not easy to.
It's not easy, and for me, and I don't know if you have the same. I only get like the bottom 2 rows, and that's it. It flies. So
yeah, same here. Yeah, same here. Liz, you're gonna have to tell me how you do the 50-50 split here on camera, because Cody and I did our live the other day, and I could not get it to do that. But
oh, really? I could definitely show you how to do that. Yeah. So, I mean, do you want me to tell you now or off camera? Off camera?
No. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Later.
Yeah. So, anybody have any questions for Jojo? What and how got him started
On TikTok?
Yes, says David.
Yeah, I probably didn't touch on that, but yeah, so I started, my very first TikTok live was February of this year. And, you know, honestly, I'd been watching content creators on TikTok for a while. Ed Vanderlee being one, 1980 something live. I watched Ed. I've seen him. And I thought, you know, I don't know, something finally was like, man, you just need to go for it. Just try it. And so there was nothing more, there really wasn't much to it other than I just decided to do it. So I figured out how to get the audio into my phone, all that sort of stuff. Mm-hmm. I knew that I wanted to play music. I wasn't sure how I felt about like being a DJ, like being on microphone. I just knew I wanted to do something, play music, whatever. And, you know, I've dabbled in this kind of stuff before.
Yeah.
And I just went for it. I don't know, something finally in my head was like, man, just do it. Like, what, you have nothing to lose. Just try it, you know, see what happens. Right. And I did. And, you know, a couple people were watching, and before I knew it, I think a week or so into it, man, it started to pick up.
Wow.
Commander Cody found me. Actually, somebody else found me. Reich and Rush is a viewer. Yeah. Reich and Rush found me. Introduced me to Commander Cody, shared out my live. It was like, hey, you need to check this guy out. Commander Cody came into my live and he brought a whole bunch of people with him. Kit Kat, yep, it's been there since the beginning. Several others that came over. And from there, it just kind of, it took off.
Yeah, you know? Liz Francis says, I remember the days with 10 people and now we get 100 people. That's surreal. That is so real because the highest number I've seen on my live show is 50. So I can't, and that day, it was only one day and I was nervous. I was like, 50 people are watching me?
It's crazy.
You know?
Yeah.
It's to have 100. It's to like, I can't even imagine that, you know?
Yeah. It may not seem like a huge number to some people. You say, oh, 50 people or whatever, but just imagine you're standing in a room playing music and there are 50 people there with you. Yeah. Just because you're there. You know what I mean? Yeah, so like when you think of it that way, it's like, that's pretty kind of crazy, you know?
Yeah, it is. It is.
I'll Ed. Thanks, Ed. You're my personal favorite too, man. Thank you, Ed. So nice.
I missed that. Hold on. What did you say? JoJo is my personal favorite DJ on TikTok. Yep. I have my top 3. Ed, you're one of them. JoJo for sure as well. Yeah, hey you guys are amazing.
Good to see you guys. Thank you for being here again. Sorry, I'm not that interacting with chat, but I do see you guys. Thank you all.
Yeah.
I probably should have just wore it, huh? Way to promote my own product. I'm not even wearing it. Isn't that terrible? All right.
Look at that. I need one of those. Love it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm really happy with the way they came out.
Yeah. It
took us a little while. I've mentioned this before. It took us a little while. When I say us, I say, you know, my wife and I, because Mrs. Riot's a big help with some of these things. I need that kind of help, really.
Yeah.
So, you know, we tried out a couple of different platforms, and I know I've mentioned this personally with you, Liz.
Yes.
And a couple of people that have asked, but, you know, we tried some other platforms, and this was by far my favorite. And I've heard nothing but good things from people who have ordered my merchandise, and they said, man, the quality is so good. It's comfortable. It's soft.
Yeah.
It's true to fit. Like, you know, the mug, you know, Ralph had mentioned that it's a great mug that's ceramic, and you can just tell that these people really do it right. So
that's awesome.
I got to tell you guys, I didn't just sort of slap something together and get you to buy stuff. And my whole point of doing all this is not to make money. It was just about giving you guys a good product. And, you know, people have asked, you know, how else can I support you, you know, and can you get me a shirt and all that kind of stuff. So that's just kind of where it came from. But
Do you offer that design? Because starting to get cold here in Connecticut. Do you offer that also in hoodies?
Hoodies, yeah. Actually, the sales in hoodies are taking off right now. And there's some really cool colors, man. And I love the logo works really well with so many different colors. There's green, talking about the fabric. So, green hoodie, orange, like there's just really red.
Wow.
My wife and daughter and I actually have hoodies coming now. We ordered some hoodies. We got navy blue, green.
Nice.
And the fuchsia, the pink, is becoming really popular too. A lot of people pick those up too. But I'm just, they look really good, honestly.
Sweet. So let me ask you. I know you mentioned your website, but some people probably missed it at the end. If they click on your profile, could they also get access to the shirts? The merchandise?
Yeah, so the link is in my profile on TikTok, but if you don't do that, it's jojoriot.com. So it's my name.com, right? So
very jojoriot.com.
It's not a very elaborate website. It's basically a landing page. There's a few call to actions on there. So you click on the one that says merch, and that'll take you into that platform for my store. So that's my store.
Sweet. Sweet. Yeah. And since we're talking about platforms, are you on any other platform, or is it just strictly TikTok?
Just TikTok. I do have a Kick account. I do have Kick. I do have a link to my Kick because I encourage people to follow me there. I do not simulcast there, so I'm not broadcasting there as well. I'm only broadcasting on TikTok. But the Kick account, as far as it stands right now, based on the knowledge I have and that we have as content creators, where am I going to go if TikTok gets shut down? Because people ask me that all the time.
Right.
I'm sure they ask you, and I know they ask everybody else that they follow, because the fear is we're going to lose you, right? And there are people that I follow, including yourself and other content creators that I love and support, and I want to know where you're going to be too. So I put Kick in place for that. So I don't currently stream there, but should TikTok ever go dark, should TikTok ever go down, that's where you will find me. And I'm trying to find that link. So it's just simply Kick. So that's KICK.com, kick.com/Jojo Riot. Okay. And you have to sign up and follow me or whatever. And I've got some followers, but there's no content on there. But that's going to be where I will be if TikTok ever shuts down.
Sweet. And do your subs, and I should have asked you behind the scenes, but do your subs also have access to Discord, or do you not have a Discord?
I do have a Discord, but there's nothing there. There's nothing there. Yeah, I've not I've not really completely built all that out. I know I probably should. I know other people do it, but again, it comes down to that there's only so many hours in a day.
Yeah. Absolutely.
TikTok is working for me right now, and I'm choosing to stay here. And there are other things that I want to do, but I just have not found the time to really do it.
Yeah. No.
But thank you for asking.
I want to provide a very good quality audio experience.
Yeah. It sounds good. So, your audio sounds real good.
Thank you. And the most important thing is it blocks my beagle's bark. That's important. Do you have any dogs or pets?
I do. Yeah, we have a dog. Her name is Maggie. Everybody who watches me often knows who Maggie is. Maggie's been on camera, and we've talked about her before. But Maggie's our dog. She will be 7 this month. 7 years old. We got her when she was just a couple months old. We had a dog prior to that. Daisy was our dog prior, and Daisy sadly passed away. She was older, and we got Maggie as a gift. She was a surprise to Little Riot when Little Riot was younger for Christmas. It was a Christmas.
That's beautiful.
Maggie was a Christmas gift.
Yeah.
Maggie's awesome. She is awesome. She's a great pup. She's a Havanese.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. A lot of people are like, what's a Havanese? She's small. She's I think 14 pounds.
Aw. That's cute.
But some people said that she should be a sticker. We should do a Maggie sticker.
That's right. And speaking of
subscribers.
Speaking of stickers or actual stickers, you said you were going to do stickers too, right? They're
out there now. Yeah, you can get a Jojo Riot sticker. Yeah.
Okay.
They're like $2, $1.99. And people have been ordering those too.
And those are on the website as well?
Yeah, on the store.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, you can buy stickers.
Nice. Nice.
Maggie
Definitely
in her pajamas. Yes, Maggie wears pajamas.
Maggie wears pajamas.
Yeah, Mrs. Reddy got her like 5 or 6 different PJs, like onesies type PJs. So she got injured back in July. We were traveling and she got hurt. She blew out her ACL.
Oh my God.
And had to have surgery. So she's still in recovery from that. It's a long recovery, and she's in doing physical therapy and stuff like that. But so to keep her from like getting at her leg, after her surgery or stuff, we just we took the cone off, of course, but she wearing the PJs to kind of sort of cover up her leg, so she's not messing with it. That's kind of where that came from. But
yeah,
she's a great pup.
And I guess you've shown her on camera, because a lot of people saying, "Oh, Maggie's so sweet."
Yeah, she's been on camera.
How come I never catch the coolest moments when you're live? Like, I go to your room. I mean, I frequent a lot, and I never catch. Yeah. I don't get to watch those moments, but I know that you get a lot of support. People sending you gifts all the time. Like I said before, people here are amazing. They definitely love you for what you do. You're so down to earth.
I feel the love. I tell you what, I'm so appreciative. When we say thank you as content creators to you people that support us and watch us and gift us, when we say thank you, I know I speak for you, Liz, because we're all just so grateful, but thank you is not enough. It just isn't. There has to be a bigger sort of like, I say thank you a million times in my life. I want to make sure that every single person that gifts me, like, I feel like I just need to say thank you, because I really truly mean it. Like, for you, people work hard for their money, and people invest time and effort and energy towards supporting you. And
absolutely,
I want to do something for you, and people say, well, it's because it's your show. You're showing up. You're giving me the music that I love. I've met people people tell me that, I see it too, and I know you see it as well, but there are a lot of people in our lives that have become friends themselves.
Yes.
That have connected because of your show. You've brought people together, and it's the whole family community thing and everything. So like, it's just, it's so awesome. You can't get that anywhere else. And, but anyway, so I just want to say, when I say thank you, just know that I mean it a million, zillion, billion times. Like, I'm so grateful for everyone.
Yeah. That's what, so I usually say in my live, especially, like I can't even sometimes grasp it. I'm like, I'm just doing trivia and I'm getting 25 new followers every day. And I always say, you know what, whether I have, I'm currently like approaching 12,000, or I either have 12,000 or 12 million, I forever will be grateful, forever will be humble, because without them, there's no me, so without you guys, there's no me. Really?
Yeah, it only works if people are here. Like,
it's absolutely. I don't take that for granted.
It brings me a lot of joy. Yeah. I'm sorry.
I said I never take that for granted. It's amazing. It's surreal. Sometimes I try to hold back tears, because I'm like, I can't even believe this is just little me living in Connecticut. But some people say, awesome, that they enjoy it. They people have gotten feedback behind the scenes that, music is life, music is therapy. I love what you're doing. It's so much fun. They get, like you said, get to connect with different people. It's just amazing. It's an amazing experience. Thank you so much, Liz.
Yeah, I totally agree. And if you do something, and if you love it enough, and you see that other people love it as much as you do, that's when it's all like hits you. You become kind of emotional about that. Like, absolutely, you're sharing your love with other people that love what it is. It's like, and really the feeling is you're just hanging out with a bunch of people, listening to some great music, or enjoying some great trivia, or reminiscing about great times in their past life. They're as a child, like back in the 80s or whatever, like whatever it is, the nostalgic thing, whatever. We're all sharing this thing together, and that's it brings us all a lot of happiness.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, very cool. That's awesome. I don't spend a lot of time on YouTube as much as I used to. I'm on TikTok all the time now. Like, it's funny. Like, I have personal social media and stuff like that, and I'm finding out, like, I'm not even on that social media as much anymore, because I'm putting time and effort into growing TikTok. So
I mean, eventually I thought, I mean, so I have the YouTube channel, and it's like you said, it's just for me to grow two different separate on two platforms is just, it's too time consuming. I do have a family too. So it takes a lot of time. So I'm going to try to just focus on this one, but I do want to give people access to that. And I think it's a great idea because, some people I'm sure would love to see the beginning of the interview as well. So this is the only way I could think of that's evergreen over there on the tube.
Yeah, I think that's awesome. You're putting it on YouTube as well. TikTok, when you stream on TikTok, it captures that video and holds it in an archive, and you can, you can send it out to other platforms and stuff, which I think is awesome. I like to go back and watch some of my lives because, it helps me to know what I should or should not do, I guess. I don't know.
Well, I'll have a confession to make. I don't know if anybody else here who's a content creator, I'm curious to know what you're going to say, but I rewatch my lives. Is that something that you do, or is it me being just paranoid that does that?
I don't watch the entire thing. I'll go through and just sort of kind of, buffer around different parts or whatever, but honestly, not really. I mean, most of the time I'm not reviewing that video. But as you know, TikTok automatically creates those clips and stuff. So of course I do go through those and see if there's anything that I can create, some video posts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But
that's why I do it, because I like to capture the funny moments. There's sometimes these funny moments that just people come up with the funniest stuff, and I'm like, oh, that's video quality, so I'll have to go. I go listen, and I kind of fast forward, and I'm like, oh, let me get to where it was, and then because I don't know. For me to make a video out of scratch, for me, it's hard to sit in front of a camera and just be doing whatever video. I find that when I post those little clips of my trivia channel, people at least get to know, oh wow, this is what it's all about,
Yeah, I think that's important. I think you should be doing that. I wish I had more time and honestly energy to do that. Sometimes I just don't feel like doing it. I just don't, and that stuff takes time, and you have to be in a creative mood and have a and stuff like that. So
for sure. Yeah. So I guess the last question I'll ask you, last call, guys, last call. Anyone have any questions? And my last question,
now because I won't answer any other time. No, I'm just kidding.
There's not enough hours. That's true, Liz. There's not enough hours in the day. I guess my next and final question to you is, what is Jojo Riot then in the next year? Have you thought of the near future where this would take you? Let's say TikTok will still be around. What is the future of this?
I don't really have any future plans. I'm just taking this a day at a time. I don't really know the direction of where this is going to go. I know where I would like for it to go, I guess, but I would like to still be able to do it. That's really it. Whether it's full time or not, some people talk about, well, I want to do this full time, and some people are able to do it full time, and I think that's awesome. If there's an opportunity for me to do Jojo Riot full time on whatever platform or whatever, it has to make sense, right? Economically, it has to make sense. I mean, I have to be able to still, earn an income and and pay bills and. I've got family and everything. I'm just a normal guy, right? All that has to make sense. But if it made sense, I would definitely entertain that for sure. I mean, of course, this is what I was born to do, whether it's radio or TikTok, a DJ that's on a microphone, a guy that's on a microphone, playing music is what I was born to do. And if there's an opportunity to do it full time, I would probably do it. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to ask you this, and I don't know, and this is obviously not a question that just came to mind while we're on that subject. Would you ever consider a meet and greet or JoJo on tour, DJing? I don't know. My gosh,
I don't think that would ever happen. I appreciate you thinking that would happen, but I can't fathom. I can't even. It's mind blowing to me to think that anybody would want to do that. But I would definitely do a meet and greet. I would love to meet you all in person. Yeah. I think that would be fun. I just think it would be so cool. So I would definitely be down for that. Ed Vanderlee, Cody, and I, we sort of talked about it the other day, just off the top of our heads. Ed came up with what if we all got together and just kind of did this thing or whatever. So the gears are turning. We're thinking about it for sure. We did talk about it, Ed. That's right. So it's I would definitely be down to, I think that would be a lot of fun. I would love to meet you all in person and shake your hand and, give out some hugs, receive some hugs, and just, I think that would be so fun for sure. I mean, there are content creators that I follow, which I would love to meet them. Like, so I get it. I understand this, like feeling like you want to meet in person. So.
Somebody said East Coast. Now that, because JoJo's on the East Coast, but I know that Ed is on the West Coast. Where is Cody? I don't know. Where?
Yeah, Cody is mountain time, so Cody's far too. He's
okay.
We're all over the country, so
Virginia Beach.
Logistically, it would be,
oh my God,
we could do it, I think, but.
Says, come to Kansas, come to Virginia Beach. What else are people saying here? JoJo merchandise available. What about me? Wait, what about me, JoJo? What about me? Ready, Ron. I mean, and Liz Francis says Pennsylvania. Roddy Ron, sorry.
So Roddy Ron is a friend of mine. We know each other. We've known each other for many years. He is Roddy Ron because when I was in a band, he was my roadie. But Roddy Ron loves to tell people that he has stories about me, which obviously, we don't give away a lot of personal information when it comes to TikTok or social media. You just don't do that.
Of course.
You just never know, right? Like you got to protect yourself and your family and stuff like that. So
absolutely.
It's not that Ron has dirt on me so much. It's more of like, he knows me because we're friends. So like, of course he knows things that you guys don't know, but it's not like dirt. It's not, but it's fun. Phoenix in the middle of winter. That's what we talked about. That, I would love to do that, Ed, for sure. I know Cody would be down and I think maybe some other people, but,
well, let me know. Let me know, because I'll do whatever it takes to convince my husband that I need to take that trip to go meet you guys for sure. For sure.
I think that would be cool. And there are some people who watch us, of course, that are from that area too. So I think that would be awesome. But, I realize also it would probably be difficult for people to take out time off work and travel and everything to get out to Arizona or wherever it might be. But, maybe they will.
For sure. Somewhere in the middle.
But I always say if anybody's ever in or around central Pennsylvania, let me know. Like if it makes sense, we could maybe meet up.
Yeah. I don't know. I as far as I can remember, Hershey Park is catered more to children, right? Because my 18-year-old, I don't think she'll be like, Mom, I don't want to go.
No, not necessarily. No. I mean, they have some coasters. They've got I think 13 coasters, I think. I mean, it's not just like a kiddie sort of place. Yeah. I mean, it's full on, they're thrill rides, not just kids. So no, it's not just it's an amusement park, but not,
Yeah.
They've got some I guess, terrifying rides for some people. I don't know.
Yeah.
We love Hershey. We love it here. Yeah. We love Hershey Park.
Yeah, I used to do that when I was in my 20s or 30s. If I were to do that now, I will be in bed because I'll pull my back and I probably won't be able to get up again. Hershey is where my dad was born. I've been to Hershey. I've been to Dorney Park, I think is Pennsylvania. Dorney,
yeah,
right?
Dorney's not far. Yeah.
And then Sesame, what is it? Sesame Place? Is that close to you too? Isn't that Pennsylvania?
I think so. Is that like the Sesame Street?
Yeah.
Amusement park.
Yes.
I do remember hearing about that. I don't remember exactly where it's at, but I think it is in Pennsylvania.
Seems like all the coolest ones are in Pennsylvania for whatever reason.
There's a lot of good ones. Yeah. We love that we're so close to Hershey Park. We have season passes. We go quite a bit. We love Hershey Park. I mean, if you live in Hershey if you like roller coasters, you have to have a pass, right? Like, why wouldn't you not? So.
Yeah, for sure. Let's see.
Outside of Philly, a lot of people nearby here, I see.
Yeah, a lot of people in Pennsylvania, right? I know Liz Francis is in Pennsylvania. Who else is in Pennsylvania?
Yeah, I know Elizabeth is, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's so awesome. Thank you so much, Cindy. Thank you, everyone, for the love. I don't want to hog JoJo for I'm sure he has stuff to do as well. His wife is probably like, okay, enough. Anyone have any questions? We are going to try to make it out there next year, says your friend. What is his name?
Yeah, to come visit me. Yeah.
I'm so blind. Yeah, that's awesome. Very cool. That's sweet. I'm in PA, but like 3 hours away. Wow. Yeah, PA is big. PA is huge. Because it depends on what part of PA, right? My Beagle is, I can't remember the town now, but it took us like 4 hours to get there. And it was in the area where the Amish community, because he came from an Amish home. So, I mean, I have no idea even like how far that is from you.
Oh, I think there's Amish, there's a lot of Amish around, of course, but I think the largest maybe community or population of Amish would be Lancaster, I believe. Lancaster, Pennsylvania. And we go to Lancaster. It's maybe 45 minutes from Hershey. They have the world's the oldest running Amish, or the oldest running farmers market. Sorry.
Oh, wow.
Which is really cool. We love that kind of stuff. We love farmers markets, and there's an Amish market that we go to quite a bit. Hershey has a farmers market. Like, we love all that kind of stuff. Antique store, all that small town kind of, we love that stuff.
That's so awesome. Yeah.
And I've learned to say Lancaster because it's not Lancaster. If you live here.
How do you say it?
Lancaster.
Lancaster.
I don't know. Yeah.
Lancaster.
You would think Lancaster, like before
that would be me. I would be Lancaster,
right. Yeah.
my New York way. It's Lancaster.
Lancaster.
Yeah. It's like Houston, Texas, but there's in New York a street called Houston.
Houston.
So it's not.
Okay.
Yeah, Houston. My mother lives across from Houston Street, so it's written the same way, but it's not pronounced Houston. And thank you so much, guys, for the support and the love. When was the last time you went to New York City? Because I know we spoke about that too.
It's been a while since I've been there. Little Riot has been there more times than we've been there.
Oh, really? Oh.
Yeah, there's theater, Broadway shows and stuff like that. So, it's been a little while, but we'll definitely get back. It's not too far from Hershey. So like you could, make a drive to New York, but, sure. I love New York. I love New York City. I love everything about it. It's so fun. I would never live there, but I definitely love all of it. I love Times Square. I love all that.
Yeah.
I just love it all. I mean, so many things associated with New York City. If you think about all the movies and just all TV shows, like all that kind of stuff, right? It's
absolutely,
it's a remarkable place to stand there in the presence. All of that is awesome. Yeah. But
it is. You said, to live there. I mean, I was born and raised there, lived there for the first 33 years of my life. But it's expensive. You can't really. I learned how to drive, Jojo, when I was 26 because I didn't need to because public transportation's everywhere. To own a car, it was a headache. First of all, to find parking, too expensive. Yeah. That's right. So
I think the next time we go to New York, we will probably not drive. We had kicked around the idea of taking the train. Of course, there are many trains that run in and out of New York and Pennsylvania and stuff like that. So we've taken a train out of Philly into New York before, right to Penn Station, and gotten out and walked around, and that was a great time. But that's adventurous too, to take a train, right? It's all part of the experience.
Absolutely. And if you do go down there,
adventure.
If you go down there to New York, you know that you got to get some pizza over there. New York has the best pizza,
right?
Inarguably. I'm never. My son-in-law begs to differ because he's in Connecticut. He is from Connecticut. And I'm playing. No, New York has the best pizza.
I'll tell you real quick about Connecticut. When I was younger, I always wanted to go to the Connecticut School of Broadcasting. They're known for a incredible broadcasting school.
Yeah.
And I remember when I was a kid, of course, we could never afford it. But, when I was a kid, I would send away for the brochure and stuff because I just wanted to see and get involved and get whatever I could.
Yeah.
But that was always a dream of mine when I was a little boy, to go to the Connecticut School of Broadcasting. Like that would have been it for me for sure. But
have you been up here to Connecticut?
Ever? I think we've been up and down East Coast. Like we've done, we've been New Hampshire and Maine and, Massachusetts and, Vermont. I don't know if we've ever touched into, Connecticut. Well, I don't remember. I don't recall.
If you ever come to this neck of the woods, I definitely want to meet you.
Yeah, for sure. I would love to. Yeah. Well, we're a pretty adventurous family. We love to travel and get out and see and do things, but, I will take you up on that. I think that'd be awesome.
Absolutely. Well, guys, final thoughts, final questions. Jojo, anything else you want to share with us before we part our ways? And I definitely am looking forward to downloading this and putting up on the tube.
Well, thank you, Liz. I know this has been a long time coming. Like I apologize for not making time sooner to do this, and I'm glad that it worked out for both of us, that we could make it work. And thank you for working with me on it here on a Saturday morning. I know typically you would do it throughout the weekday or whatever, but thanks for that and being flexible with that. And it's a lot of fun. I enjoy watching you. I think you're awesome. I love your personality. You're a true, you are who you are, and people love you. And I just think that's awesome. I'm like proud to call you a friend and a supporter as well. So I think you're really cool. I love what you're doing here. And it's so cool to see you grow too. Like it's, I know it brings you a lot of joy and stuff like that. Yeah. So I'm honored and thank you. This has been a lot of fun. And everyone that's here right now, we love you all, man. You guys are awesome. It's because of you. And thank you all a million times for the support and showing up and being here. But other than that, and we're going to rock out tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern. Tonight.
Absolutely. And I just want to say
tonight.
Same thing. The feeling is mutual, Jojo. I was looking forward to this. Let me just say that, you're just an awesome human being inside and out, behind the camera. Amazing human being.
Thank you, Liz.
And to me, and thank you, Liz, for making this happen, because I know it was Liz's persistence too.
Elizabeth, yes. Elizabeth Francis, yes.
Yeah, Elizabeth Francis.
She brought us together.
Yeah, so I appreciate you. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. This means so much to me, Jojo, more than you can imagine.
Yeah. Oh, you bet. It was fun. Thanks again for having me. Again, like I said, I'm honored. You interview some great people in here, and for whatever reason you want to interview me, but it's.
Are you kidding me? My husband knows my husband knows of you. I've mentioned it so much this whole week. You have no idea who I'm interviewing. You have no idea.
That's awesome. That's awesome. That means a lot to me. Like I'm not like, I don't feel like a celebrity or anything. Of course, I'm not at all. I don't think of that at all. But I've never experienced something like this before. The fact that somebody wants to wear a T-shirt that has my name on it or something like is still a little mind blowing to me. But I get it, because there are content creators that I follow and love and feel that way about them. So I do understand. Yeah. And it's wild. I don't know. That's the word I always go to. It's wild. It blows my mind. So,
it is wild, guys.
And it's so much fun.
Let's enjoy that ride, right?
That's right. Yeah, right. You guys are awesome. Listen, for as long as TikTok's as long as this platform's going to be around, I will be here. For as long as I'm able to do this, I will continue to do this. So I'm definitely not going to go anywhere.
Awesome. Don't forget to get Jojo merch, jojoriot.com, guys. And with that, I'll see you guys tonight on the TikTok streets, and make sure that you give them a follow if you're from my followers. And there you go, Jojo Riot. That's it. Give it up for Jojo one more time. Let's go. I love you guys.
Thanks again.
Awesome. See you later.
We'll see you. See you guys. Thanks so much for being here. We'll catch you later. Thank you, Liz. Have a great day.
You too.